Okay, so you wanted to learn something this weekend and you were hoping that I would post a video. So for all of my students that are looking for something to learn that's non-science-y, I'm going to teach you something else. This is how to love Brussels sprouts. So let me show you how to make them so you can make them for your parents and super impress them with your knowledge of nutrition and cooking skills. Okay, so here we go. First of all, you have to be able to get them ready to be able to cook. So I have here some Brussels sprouts that I got from the store. It has kind of a stumpy little end there, and you know, it looks sort of like a little cabbage. All right, and so what we're gonna do with those is you're going to take a knife. I'm using a steak knife, but any kind of knife will do. You could probably use a butter knife and that would be fine too. You wanna cut off that stumpy little end. Okay, so then you have this. Don't worry if little pieces fall off. You can either get rid of them if you want. I just throw them in usually because, you know, it's just more that I get to use. Now you want more of this to get toasted because that's what makes it taste good. So instead of leaving it whole like this, I cut it in half. So you end up with just like this, okay? Now I have a whole plate right here that's all ready to go. And so I'll show you what to do next with that. Next, what you want to do is you want to get a good size pan. I have a size, it's about like this. It's one of those large skillets. And you want to set your heat to, I don't know, about 4. If you have a gas range, it's somewhere basically in the middle between low and high. So wherever it is that your setting is, maybe a little bit below halfway. And then what I have in here is melted butter, and I use, for the amount of Brussels sprouts I'm using and the size of the pan, I'm using about half a stick, a little less than half a stick. So use more or less depending on how much you're making. Okay, so next we're going to put these in there. And as they're cooking, you can kind of shush them around a little bit. You see how they're flipping as they hit the sides, but if the ones in the middle aren't moving a whole lot, go ahead and turn them over. And you want to add some seasonings to it. Things that I recommend: garlic salt, if you like garlic salt, or you can use regular salt and fresh ground pepper. You can use pepper in a container if that's all you have that's already ground, but fresh ground is nice because it's fresher and it has a stronger flavor. If you like just a little bit of pepper, maybe use the already ground stuff. And then a little bit of garlic salt. Make sure that all of them are covered. And what you're looking for is you want the green to get brighter. If the green is bright, that means you're bringing out all the nutrients to it. And if it's like a sick kind of a, I don't know, I hesitate to say pea green because even peas should not be that sick color. But like it's been sitting around too long. That's not good because that means a lot of the nutrients have already left. They've been overcooked or they've been sitting too long. You can see that the color is starting to get a little bit brighter. And the amount of butter that I have was just enough. We don't want any more because we don't want them getting it too soggy. And but we want enough so that they all get coated. And I can smell the pepper, and I can smell a little bit of the garlic. You can even add some garlic if you like garlic. You could add some onions. Oh, bacon would be really good in this too. And what we want is, not only do we want this bright green color, we want them to get a little bit soft. In the culinary world, they call it crisp tender. But we want these white pieces that are on the inside. One thing that will tell us that it's getting close to done is when those start getting toasty brown, and we want that. Get those leaves off of your spatula. You can use one of these if you want. If you want to use you know, like an actual rubber spatula, rubber scraper, that would be okay. You're not using real high of a temperature, so whatever it is you have around. The only thing that you want to be careful of is if you have a non-stick pan like this one is, don't ever use anything metal on a non-stick pan, ever, 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 because it will scratch the surface and then you end up creating an area that'll just start chipping away, and then you get this Teflon in your food, and you definitely don't want that. Also, if you have a Teflon pan or a nonstick pan at home and it has scratches in it, chuck it, get rid of it, get a new one. They're not that expensive, especially if you get some of the off-brand ones, or if you go up to Johnson Crick and they have those kitchen stores where you can get brand name stuff for a little bit cheaper because it's an outlet. So just look around. There's a lot of places you can get different pans. If you use a stainless steel pan, this will work just fine because you have plenty of butter in it, and so it really shouldn't stick, or it shouldn't stick too much as long as you keep stirring it. So we're going to let that sit for just a little bit and get toasty. As you can see, it is starting to get brown, starting to get nice and toasty. We've got some pieces here that are getting a little brown, getting a little toasty. You're going to start to smell it. It doesn't smell like something that is fresh and raw. It's starting to smell something that's like a little bit more cooked. You can kind of smell this kind of a green leafy smell that smells like it's being cooked. Now you can see that they are completely done cooking. We've got a nice brown on some of the insides of the pieces. We've got this really bright green color that tells us that the nutrients are still there and intact. And so now all it's time to do is to enjoy them with our lunch. All right, and here we are ready to enjoy our Brussels sprouts. This is one of the girls' most favorite things to eat with their dinners. So girls, go ahead and try it and tell everybody what you think. That is really good, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, and so we have our Brussels sprouts that we worked on eating. I have some homemade bread there that I baked about a week ago, and then this is chicken with marinara sauce, breaded, and mozzarella over the top, which if you would like to learn how to bake bread, I will do that in another episode. And if you would like the recipe on the chicken to go with these tasty, tasty Brussels sprouts, you can ask me next week or ask me in the comments down below, and I would be happy to share the recipe because I just made it up today. So we'll see you next week, and try this for your family. All right, Hattie, what do you think? Good? You like it? Good. Olivia, what do you think? Is it good? Okay, say goodbye or wave. Let's wave. Goodbye. Hey, goodbye. Full mouth, goodbye.